Hello, good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm so happy to see you guys. My name is Shane Sterling. How are you today? You know, this video is going to be something that's a little personal for me. The 4 people that influenced me to go raw vegan. And you know what's interesting is that none of them are raw vegans themselves, but they've provided things, insights, things that have accumulated to help me understand why I want to go raw vegan. I think you guys are going to find it really interesting. And you know what? People influence us in ways that we don't even realize. And not for the best most of the time. We are the sum of who we spend the most time with. We will have the same amount of money. We will have the same health. We will have the same lifestyle of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So it's critical that we understand how we're influenced. And you know what? Now at this time in my life, I do not listen to people's advice unless they have the house I want, the money I want, the car, the lifestyle I want. I literally do not listen to what they say. Only if they have exactly what I want. Then I might listen to them. Otherwise, no. But these 4 people influenced me to go raw vegan before I was even raw vegan. This is way before I even went raw vegan. How it started to influence me in that direction. I think you guys are going to find it interesting. Let's jump in. Okay, the 4 people that influenced me to go raw vegan. Number 1, my mom. My mom is not a raw vegan or even vegan. She's a meat eater, has been her whole life. But when I was a kid, she was on this health kick in the 70s. Yes, I was born in the 70s. I'm 48 years old. 1973 was my birthday. So my mom would make green juice and carrot juice for me as a kid. At dinner time, you know, she'd sit me down for dinner and she'd put a glass of carrot juice or green juice on the table and say, here, drink this before dinner. And you know what? It was horrible. It was disgusting. As a kid, I thought it was horrible. I said, Mom, how can something that's good for me taste so bad and make me feel so sick? It didn't make any sense. But you know what happened is the juice influenced my microbiome. Now, whether it's flooding my body with those nutrients or the enzymes bringing life force into the mitochondria of my cells or the extra minerals that I got, how it affected the bacteria in my gut and my microbiome, that influenced me. Because by the time I was 21 years old, I bought myself a juicer and I started to juice. You know, that influenced me. So even though my mom wasn't raw vegan, she had no desire to make me raw vegan, those juices started me on a path to understand how good it felt to juice. And when I was like 21, 22, first time out living on my own, I had my own apartment and I was juicing and I would make parsley shots and I would take those parsley shots. You know what? It makes you high. Parsley makes you high. It feels so good. You get all tingly and buzzy. So I was into it. I was into juicing. And you know what? That was early on as a 20-something, early 20s, that started the process of me being aware of the power of raw food and juicing to change our life. Okay, number 2, Jesus. Jesus influenced me to go raw vegan. Not that I've ever met Jesus, but hear me out. Okay, it was about 2003. I was about 30 years old. I was walking down the street one day and this guy walks up to me and he tosses a book over to me on the street. I catch the book and he said, here, I think you need to have this. I looked at the book and it said the Essene Gospel of Peace. I took it as a sign. I was like, well, I should probably read this. So I went home, I checked it out. I opened up that book and it was talking from the words of Jesus. Jesus was teaching people how to heal themselves on raw food. And the principle was that if we eat denatured food, cooked food, frozen food, that is defiled, it invites the devil into our body. It invites the serpent into our bowels. It invites parasites and disconnection with the divine intelligence around us. But when we cleanse our body, when we cleanse our bowels, it opens up our consciousness to connect with the divine intelligence, the earthly angels. So Jesus was an Essene, and the Essenes were raw. They were raw foodists. They would bake unleavened bread in the sun. take it or leave it, whether you believe Jesus was an Essene or not, whether you believe in the Essene Gospel of Peace, that book and thinking about Jesus being a raw foodist absolutely changed my life. I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. Jesus being a healer, could walk on water, right? Heal lepers and stuff. How would he do that? He would do that with raw food. Of course, it made so much sense, going back to, juicing, parsley juice, green juice, carrot juice makes me feel so good. Cleaning out my bowels, the influence on the microbiome. Jesus being a raw vegan, teaching the power of juices, fresh, living food and cleaning out the bowels. It clicked, it made sense. Okay, number 3, my kids. When my kids were born, it did something absolutely profound to my life. You know what it did? It made me think, what kind of example do I want to set? What kind of an example am I going to be in the world? Who am I going to actually be in the world? I said to myself, wow, my kids are going to watch me. My kids are paying attention. My kids are going to be influenced by who I'm being. And really, that was such a major influence because I really realized if I'm going to be who I really want to be, if I'm going to be the person that I feel like I was born to be, destined to be, that I have to take on a whole food, plant-based diet that is mostly raw, if not all raw. This is the cumulative effect of influence in my life, positive influence, things that have happened to me to make me realize if I'm going to be my best and if I'm going to be able to show up for my kids and provide the best life for them, I want to be raw vegan. I want to be raw vegan so I can set an example of someone who is not indoctrinated by poisonous food. Set an example of someone who resists food addiction, addictive behavior, and self-destructive ways of thinking, and stands up for myself, believes in myself, loves myself, makes the choice every single day to pour into myself and be a leader. To me, being a leader means choosing the right things, not being foolish, not being willy-nilly about how we make choices of the food we put in our mouth. There's no way we can kill animals and eat that suffering dead body and think that that's leadership. That doesn't make any sense to me. The power of the living fresh foods, healing our body, cleaning our body, building our microbiome, building the life force in our body, radiating the life force. Where does that life force come from? Life force comes from living food. That's the example I wanted to set for my kids. Okay, number 4, my therapist. My therapist wasn't a raw vegan, wasn't even vegan. My therapist ate meat, totally unaware of a raw vegan lifestyle. But you know how my therapist influenced me to go raw vegan? I was working with this therapist for 3 years. Check this out. My wife and I were seeing a marriage and family therapist, okay? She was trained in a special technique called emotional focus therapy, which basically teaches that when we have a traumatic break in our trust from primary caregivers like our parents, say we have a traumatic separation or abuse, that it damages our self-worth, and that we're always trying to recreate these situations in our life to heal these original traumas. And I worked with this therapist for 3 years, and the place I got to is that I have to build my self-worth. My self-worth was damaged from my parents and a separation anxiety and abandonment trauma. Yes, I've been traumatized by just being alive. We all are. And I really had this profound clarity that I am worthy. I am worthy of being happy. I am worthy of being successful. I am worthy of being the person that I feel like I've always been destined to be. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to be a raw vegan. And you know what? It was my time with my therapist and getting deeper and deeper and deeper into these layers of myself where I finally had to admit that if I'm going to be in self-worth, that I'm going to have to choose living foods to influence my life force so that I can be effective, happy, contributing. It also solves the problem of my angst of being vegan in the world and the atrocities that humans commit against animals. Being a raw vegan means I'm taking full responsibility. I'm contributing to the world in such a positive, uplifting way, creating a win-win-win. So that is the 4 people that influenced me to go raw vegan without even knowing it. And you know what? My advice is if you want to go raw vegan, you start how I started, which is to do a juice fast and to clean out the gut microbiome. That's how I started. I did a juice fast for 40 days. I cleaned out my food tube completely. I drank nothing but juices until all the waste came out. I got mucoid plaque and biofilms out of my GI tract. I lost about 25 pounds of waste, not body fat, waste out of my GI tract. That was how I started my raw vegan journey. And then after that, I rebuilt my gut microbiome on a 100% raw vegan diet with all of that fresh living food, with all of that prebiotic fiber, with all of the enzymes to restore my gut, restore my life force. And I've been 100% raw ever since. That's how I did it. I recommend you do the exact same thing. If you want to know more about how to do a juice fast, I have a free PDF called How to Do a Juice Fast, Why You Need to Do One, a detailed guide to bowel detoxification. There is a link in the description below to that free download. It's an instant download. Okay, go click on that link and claim that for yourself and see what it takes to do a juice fast and clean out your bowels. Just like Jesus, the Essene, talked about cleaning our bowels to commune with the earthly angels. I'm telling you, we get clear. How are we supposed to feel the divine intelligence in all things, feel that beautiful connectedness, if we're not eating raw, fresh, living foods? It's really incredible. And then you can learn about how to stay raw vegan and get support in my community, Raw Vegan Heroes. There's also a link in the description below to my community, Raw Vegan Heroes, which has about 240 members as of today, which is a community of people coming together to celebrate the raw vegan journey, to get support with juice fasting, to get support with their detox, and to be around other people, getting the proper influence, okay? How are you going to be influenced? How are you going to let people in your life influence you? Are you taking advice from people that aren't successful, that don't have the lifestyle you want, that don't have the health you want? Well, if you come into Raw Vegan Heroes, you can have that be your influence. Turn off the negativity and get positivity. Raw Vegan Heroes is an amazing community. I highly recommend you click on the link below, check it out. This is my service to you. It's very affordable to be part of my community, and this is what I have learned how I can serve people. Raw Vegan Heroes, my bowel detoxification guide. Check it out. So much love to all of you. Thank you for being on this video. I appreciate you guys so much. If you like this kind of content, if you like the topics of raw food and empowerment and connecting to the divine intelligence through raw living foods and an incredible lifestyle of health and success, then subscribe to Raw Vegan Rising, this YouTube channel, my baby, my love, and all of my subscribers. I love you guys so much. Everyone who subscribed to this channel, you guys are a rock star. Thank you so much for being part of this. It makes me so proud. I'm so proud of all of us. Have a blessed day, everyone. Much love. I will see you in the next one.